And thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate the fact that you join us every Friday, 12:30 GMT to 13:30 GMT. They call me Uncle WHYTE, and this is the ENCORE, the platform on which we discuss all things love, marriage, sex, and what have you. Once again, you are welcome. And since it is still early days yet of 2018, I think I can continue to say happy birthday, happy new year to you, especially those of you who are joining us for the very first time. I had planned to throw a puzzle to my team, but they made sure that our network got faulty, and so we couldn't start early. So I don't have the time for that. So, but I'm noting those who are excited, and I'll pick on them next week, and specifically. So today we are continuing with our series in which we look at the English alphabet, and we pick letters and look at the words that begin with a particular letter, and then learn about marriage, love, relationship. And today we are doing U words. U words. And the U words are U for unacceptable, U for unrealistic, U for unhappy, and U for understanding. Unacceptable, unhappy, unrealistic, understanding. And when we come back from this short break, I'll tell you exactly what they stand for. So we'll be back.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. We are back, and now we go straight into the presentation. Let me just apologize for the delay in starting because of some technical hitches that we have. But a guy with a magic just walked in, and after he walked in, everything was fine. Now, our first U word for today is U for unacceptable. U for unacceptable, as in unacceptable behaviors in love and in relationship and in marriage. U for unacceptable. Now, there are issues in relationships that are unacceptable. Hold on, I think somebody handed me something and it is not quite working. Chrissy, Chrissy will sort it out. You take it. You sort it out. Let's see what is happening. U for unacceptable. There are certain behaviors in a relationship that are unacceptable. And I will run through about 20 of them. The first is abuse. Abuse. It is unacceptable. And abuse of any kind. Physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. None of them is acceptable. And we've got to note that it's unacceptable in a love relationship. Being on the phone when you are with your partner, when you're on a date with your partner, when you're having a meal with your partner, when you are in bed with your partner, please, the phone does not belong there. So take it off. Flirting when you are with your partner. Flirting when you are with your partner, unacceptable. When you are with your partner, nobody should matter. Nobody should matter, and you should not give attention to anyone at all. It is a height of ill behavior, bad behavior, to be flirting when you are with a person that you call your partner. Disrespecting your partner, and disrespect of any kind, is not on. If you've gotten to the point where really you think you can't respect this person, then please end the relationship. But don't stay in a relationship and then continue to dishonor and disrespect the person. Disgracing your partner in public. Disgracing your partner in public. Under no circumstances can you disgrace somebody you say you love in public. Asking her friends for information that indicates that you don't trust your partner. Asking her friends for information like, so you guys, where did you go last night? Who did he talk to? Where did he go with so and so? You are indicating that you don't trust your partner, and it doesn't belong in a relationship. Comparing your partner with your ex or with a friend's spouse is not right. Have you seen TK's wife? TK's wife wouldn't do this. No. Don't compare. Don't compare your partner with it, and especially with your ex. If your ex was so wonderful, why is she or he an ex? 9, punishing your partner with sex. We can fight, we can disagree, we can even go to court and sue each other, but sex no day inside. That should be a no-go area. Contradicting your partner in public. Your partner is saying something. Of course, he may not be saying it right, but keep quiet. If anyone should contradict him, it should, especially your partner is mixing the facts up. Don't say, no. It was not Kumasi we went to Konongo. No, shut up. Don't do that in public. 11, countering the instructions that your partner gives to your children. Your partner says to the children, go to bed, and you say, no, don't go to bed. That is unacceptable. Disrespecting your partner's parents. No matter what fight and what is going on in your relationship, hey, respect the parents who gave you the person you call your loved one. Bad-mouthing your partner, not on, saying all kinds of terrible things. You people, you don't know who is, no, stop that. Allowing people to pick or attack your spouse. Allowing other people, even your people, your relatives, your siblings in particular, to pick on your spouse, not on, or to attack your spouse is unacceptable. 15, destroying the reputation of your partner after you have decided to dump him or her. Do you understand? You have decided, this relationship is not working, I am moving on. But instead of going somewhere quietly, you then decide that the whole world must know what kind of a terrible person she or he is. 16, confronting your partner in public with suspicions that he or she is cheating. You suspect your partner is cheating, but don't go public with it. Don't meet your partner on the street and with other people around and begin to call her, you are cheating. 17, and I realize that ladies do this a little bit more than boys. Going to warn a girl to stay away from your partner. You realize that there's this girl in church or in the office who your partner seems to be excited about. Then you go and warn that person. The day you do that, you've lost your relationship. Now, related to that, 18, going to create a scene in your man's office over anything, not on. 19, using social media to get back at your partner. You have an issue with your partner, please keep it out of social media. And then finally, 20, threatening your partner with divorce or breakup. Unless you really are serious. And whenever you make a threat of divorce, follow through with it quickly. But don't leave it hanging. I will leave you, then you are still there. I'll leave you, then you go to town and I'll come back. No. When you do, I will leave you. Leave me proper. So that by the time I come back from work, you are not home. Then I know, oh, yeah. So those are unacceptable things in any love relationship. And if you have a love relationship, this should not be tolerated. You should not accept it, and you should not perpetuate it. Now, the second U word is U for unhappy. And we're looking at unhappy marriages. U for unhappy, as in unhappy marriages. Now, originally I wanted to share with you signs of unhappy marriage, but then I realized that no, if you're in an unhappy marriage, you know it. You know it's unhappy. So it is not that useful to talk about the signs of unhappy marriage. So instead, what I decided to do is to tell you 20 things you should know about unhappy marriages that will help you to either avoid being in one or give you guidance as to what to do should you find yourself in one, or if you are in one. And again, we're going to look at 20 things you should know about unhappy marriages. Note that these will help you either avoid or transform a bad relationship into a good one. So, shall we? One, the first thing to know about unhappy marriages is that nobody asks for it. Nobody wakes up and says, you know something, I'm going to get married, and when I get married, all I want is to be unhappy. That's what happens. Nobody asks for unhappy marriage. Two, the signs that a marriage will be unhappy are often present during courtship, except that we ignore them. So when people say, oh, I didn't know it would be like this. No, you knew that life with that person would likely come to this. The signs are there. And so, especially for those of you who are not married, stop trying to justify issues that are coming up. Maya Angelou said, if someone shows you who they are, please believe them. But quite often in courtship, people show us who they are, and we think, no, you know, he's not quite like that. No, he is like that, possibly even worse. Three, it is very easy to deceive people into thinking that your marriage is not unhappy when it is. And a lot of unmarried people want to marry because they're looking at certain relationships that are terrible, that are unhappy, but the people have been good performers and made everybody think that we have it made. We have a wonderful marriage. So it is very easy to be watching an unhappy marriage and you think that, no, these guys are very happily married. You could be very wrong. Four, if your parents are in an unhappy marriage, or if they had an unhappy marriage, the chances are that you may have one. I share this with you so that you'll be extra careful. If you come from a home where your parents had an unhappy marriage, then you have even more to do to ensure that you do not create one. Because I'll tell you that they are created. Five, unhappy marriages don't happen overnight. You don't wake up one day and realize, oh, what happened? We are in an unhappy marriage. No. There's a path to it. It's small things. Small things. Little irritations that bring us to that point. And you've got to watch that. Now, six, unhappy marriages are not born, they are created. That was a point I was going to make earlier. Unhappy marriages are created. They are not born. In other words, the marriage itself is not unhappy. We, the couple, make it so. And that is the good news. If they are created, it means they can be uncreated. You know, you can turn it around. Seven, it is easy to accept unhappy marriages as if it is normal, as if that is the nature of things. No, it's not. If you're in an unhappy marriage, that is not the normal state of marriage. Marriage can be fun, it can be exciting. It may not be that exciting as teenagers courting, but trust me, it has its own level of joy. So if it is not there, don't accept it as normal. 8, people choose to endure unhappy marriages. And that's the sad thing. They are in an unhappy marriage. Instead of doing anything about it, they just endure it. Not good enough. 9, if you are unhappy in one marriage, the chances are that you'll be unhappy in the next one too. There are people who find themselves in an unhappy marriage and suddenly they begin to look for an escape. They think that, oh, if I'm married to another person, I'll be happier. I married the wrong person. No. Because you see, you are the cause of the unhappiness in the marriage. You go with it. So if you're unhappy with one, the chances are that you will go into another and make it unhappy as well. 10, you can work your way through an unhappy marriage for a better marriage. In other words, unhappy marriages can be turned around, and I hope that if you're in one, you'll be able to turn yours around. 11, seeking comfort outside an unhappy marriage often causes even more problems. There are people who are in an unhappy marriage and then they begin to develop some other relationships outside. They take to speaking to somebody on phone every day, or they begin to fall heavily emotionally on a colleague. The point is that you are seeking comfort outside your marriage. It will bring you more problems than what you already have, and it will make turning that unhappy marriage around even more difficult. 12, divorce is often not a solution to an unhappy marriage. So you run away, you will get into another. Indeed, you become like Jonah. You may even run into a worse situation. So just stay there and do what you need to do and turn it around. 13, there are causes that are common to all unhappy marriages. And I would advise you to try and do your own research. Third parties can cause unhappy marriages. Regret, living with regret. Regret for your past, regret for even the person you've married. Attitude, resentment, that is not addressed. These are some of the common causes, but there are many. And I'll ask you to go and do your own research. 14, paying attention to not paying attention to each other's needs would land you into unhappy marriage. But paying attention to each other's needs will become medicine to an unhappy marriage. So if you're in an unhappy marriage, begin now to pay attention to each other's needs. Instead of waiting for crying, meet my need. Why are you not meeting my need? Now change it. Together, decide now to turn the attention on your partner, and you would find that your unhappy marriage has been turned around. 15, unhappy marriage can kill you or make you lose your mind. If you go to the mental hospital, there are a lot of people in there who are there because they were in an unhappy marriage and did not do what they needed to do to turn it around. 16, it is possible for unhappiness in the marriage to be one-sided. Let me try and explain this. You know, a marriage takes two people. It is possible that one person is so unhappy, but the other person is having a ball. So you ask him, how's your marriage going? Oh, marriage is so wonderful. Whereas the partner is dying. And that is why we've got to be careful that you always, if you are enjoying your marriage, take time to find out whether your partner is also enjoying the marriage as much as you are enjoying it. If you are not enjoying it, check. Your partner may be enjoying it. So find out whether you not being happy is your own fault instead of what is happening in the marriage. 17. What it takes to turn an unhappy marriage around is small. It's not a big thing. Sometimes just a change of attitude. Sometimes just a decision to decide that he forgot my birthday is not a big deal. May change the unhappiness. 18. Unhappy marriages are often made worse on the advice of third parties. Those you turn to help you deal with an unhappy marriage can be the cause of the unhappy marriage getting worse. 19, and this will surprise many of you. Being in an unhappy marriage is not a sign that your love is dead. There are people who love each other deeply and still are managing to make each other unhappy and are unhappy together. So the fact that you're unhappy in your marriage doesn't mean love is gone. Love is not gone. It's there. Let's find it. 20. Unhappy marriage brings the worst in us. Brings the worst in us. I was telling my team about a couple, and this was a couple who went to great extents to see how they can punish each other. One bought a sports car, and the other drove it into their swimming pool just to punish the partner because she was unhappy. So unhappy marriages can bring the worst in us, and that's why we need to stay away from it. So we've done the two U words already. Now let's go on to the third U word, unrealistic expectations. Now unrealistic expectations in love and in a love relationship or in marriage can mess you up big time. It is one of the reasons why a lot of relationships are unhappy. So it is important for us to note this again, because today we are focused on how to turn unhappy marriages around. So this may help you turn yours around. So, one, unhappy marriages. The unrealistic expectations that can get you into trouble. Number one, the attitude, the mindset that good, loving relationship does not have conflict. That mentality that if we love each other, we will never have conflicts. That is unrealistic, because no matter how good your relationship is, you would have conflicts. The question will be how you resolve them. That is what will make it a happy one or an unhappy one. Two, the mindset that a good, loving relationship does not need work, that it will be natural, it will work naturally. You are living in dream world. Wake up. You will need to work on your relationship. Relationships are like a garden. No garden stays beautiful on its own. You've got to cultivate it. Three, having the mindset that, or the belief that your husband should be your best friend. Doesn't work. He doesn't have what it takes to be your best friend. So be careful. And four, thinking that after marriage you can cut off all your friends and you wouldn't need anybody, especially if you're a woman. You need your social structure, so be careful. Five, that your spouse will make you happy. Joker, dream on. Your spouse, your happiness is your own responsibility. It is not that of your spouse. Six, that your marriage will be an extension of your courtship. It will be as sweet and as wonderful and exciting as your courtship. Hey, grow up. It's not going to happen. Seven, that we'll go for walks every evening. Even a visitor sees how ridiculous that is. No, it's not going to happen. Another fantasy. 8, that we will eat dinner together every evening. Keep reading those novels. 9, that sex will be super every time. No. Sex will be super a lot of the times. But sometimes it will just be ordinary. And if it is a marriage, it is okay. It is okay every now and then for sex to just be ordinary. But every now and then, trust me, it will be super, because married people have better sex than unhappy people. Unhappy people actually don't know what sex is. That's why they struggle when they get married initially. 9, that my spouse will get on well with my people. He doesn't need to. And don't make that one a requirement. 11, that my partner should be there whenever I need him or her. No. Your partner will have a life of his own or her own. So your partner may not always be there when you need them. So don't go into your relationship with this. 12, that my husband will not find any other girl attractive after we are married. When you put a ring on my finger and I said I do, it didn't take it didn't shut my eyes. So your husband will find other women attractive. It doesn't mean he wants to go to bed with them. No, far from it. So if you are driving with him and he looks at that girl in the Mini, it means nothing. I mean, let it slide. Don't get a fit over that. 13, and this is for the men, that my wife will keep her figure years after marriage. That beautiful figure that attracted you may not always be there, but it's cool, it's fine, because who she is inside will never change. It will get even richer, and you'll begin to see and appreciate her even more. 14, we'll tell each other everything. Hey, that's unrealistic in marriage. We'll not tell every. It isn't always wise to tell everything, you know. So don't fool yourself. That 15, marriage will solve the problems we're having in courtship. There are people who are already struggling in courtship, and they think that, if we marry, all these things will be over. You lie bad, it will be worse. It will be worse. So that's an unexpected expectation. 16, that having children will solve the problems we are having in our marriage. There are people who think that, if only we have children, then he will come home, he will stay home, he'll be more responsible. You lie. The children will make him even more irresponsible. 17, if he loves me, he will know what I need without my telling him. Are you still on baby milk? If you're not on baby milk, drop this one. If you want him to know what you need, tell him. We are not mind readers. And I'll say more about that when we come to understanding men. 18, my spouse should never find anything wrong with me. No, I love you, but you are not a perfect person. And when I point it to you, please don't get upset. 19, love is all we need. There are people who think love is all we need. They don't have money, but they say, oh, we will marry because after all, we love each other and love is all we need. No, love is not all you need. Once you get married, you will need a lot more than love. 20, if he loves me, he will never hurt me. No. Sometimes in life, it is the person who loves you the most who can hurt you the deepest. And when it happens, just take it as a fact of life. All right, let's quickly go on to understanding men. And then we would also, for the ladies, hold your fire because we'll do understanding women as well. And because I don't want trouble, it's 20 for each side. We'll balance the equation. Understanding men. Men have fragile egos. We may look tough, we may look macho, but it takes very little to break a man emotionally and to hurt and to destroy his ego. And you should be careful because when a man's ego is destroyed, he never forgives that and he never gets over it. He never recovers from that. 2, men cannot stand pain. It is the reason why God did not make us the ones to bring forth. If a man went into labor, he would die with a child every time because we can't stand pain. We can't stand pain. 3, and this will surprise a lot of women, men are not complicated at all. We are not complicated at all. So stop trying to read deeper meaning into the things we say because they don't mean anything. Stop trying to second guess us. You'll get it wrong. We are so simple. You know, did I tell you about the only exams that I failed? In school, I was just a little above average, gentlemanly average. Do you understand? A little above average. Yes. But there's a paper I failed. There's a paper I got 39%. It was an English paper. And the reason why I got 39% is that the questions were too simple. Now, this was in secondary school. Secondary school. And those were secondary days when secondary school was proper secondary school. You understand me? So I go in there, English paper, I'm expecting, I had prepared for the paper. Question number 1, what is your name? Secondary school, what is your name? And I was confused. What do they mean? Is there more to this? Have I forgot? So simple can mess you up. And a lot of women are messed up by how simple the man is. Men are not complicated. 4, when a man feels he's inadequate or he's made to feel inadequate, he walks away. He doesn't up his game. He just shuts down and walks away. 5, men thrive on admiration and appreciation. So if your man is not running around trying to please you, trying to worship you, it's because you haven't made him, you haven't appreciated him, and you are not admiring him. We worship those who admire us and appreciate us. So show a bit of that to your husband and see what will happen. 6, men would always choose independence. Men want to be independent. They want to be independent. Women, on the other hand, want connection, and I'll talk about that when I get to women. So balance that. And that leads me to 7, which is men need their space. The happy is the woman who has learned the formula of how to stay connected with her husband and at the same time give him his space so that he feels, I have my space. I can do the kind of things I want to do. 8 will surprise a lot of the women and the men who are not married. Men sometimes are intimidated by sex. especially sex with the same woman over and over. It gets intimidating because you're wondering, okay, am I meeting? Am I cutting it? Am I making her happy? And we get very intimidated by it. 9, men don't always think through what they are saying before they say it. Before a woman says something to you, she's thought through it. If a woman says you are stupid, she wants to tell you are stupid. She has thought about it. She has analyzed. She has looked at all the words she can use for you and realized that there's no other word for you but stupid. And so she drops it on you. When a man says you are stupid, he hasn't thought about it. He was upset. It's the first word that came into his mouth, and he dropped it. And he doesn't quite often mean it. Indeed, there are men who start talking, and by the time they are halfway through what they are saying, they don't agree with themselves over what they started saying. I mean, men are like that. 10, men can think of nothing. So the women who see a man sitting down, you come to him and say, my dear, what are you thinking about? And then he says nothing. And he says, no. If you don't want to tell me, don't tell me. No, he's right. A man can sit down for an hour and he's not thinking about anything. Women can do that because a woman can shut her brain down. But a man can. We can sit down and we are thinking about nothing. Absolutely nothing. 11. Don't be fooled by his degrees or his position in society. He is still a boy inside. Sometimes you expect too much of us. You expect us to be wiser than sometimes we are. We are still boys, and in many cases we have the same tendencies. 12. Men cry, but they will hide to do it. There are women who think that men don't cry, but men cry, but will hide to do it. 13. Men say I love you with their actions. 14. Most men are comfortable with routine and the sameness. So women sometimes get, but we've been doing this, he's eating the same food over and over. You keep giving it to him. Men, he's comfortable with men. 15. Men don't know how to handle tears. Now I realize that I've run out of time, so I'll save the remaining 5. Kwesi will put it on the side. Let me go on to the women so we can take in some questions. So understanding women. 1, women thrive on attention. If you are relating to a woman and you don't know how to give a woman an attention, you are in a suicide pact with yourself. Stop it. 2, women cannot be intimate when they are hurt. So don't touch your woman when you know she's hurt. Resolve the issue first before. 3, women need sweet words, sweet actions, and tender touching to be turned on. Touching to be turned on. Not the giddy kind of touch. I mean, no. 4, women are emotional, and I'm sure everybody knows that. 5, women's appearance means the world to them. A woman's appearance means the world to her. 6, women deal with issues by talking and venting. So when she's talking, and she's not looking for solutions, she wants you to listen and understand her. And so allow her to talk. Don't say, oh, it's all right, shut up. No, let her talk. She's healing. 7, women can multitask. 8, women need their social support system. They need their girls. So if you are relating to a woman, don't tell her, I don't want you to have friends. That is wrong. You are killing that woman. Allow her to have her friends. 9, a woman's relationship is an integral part of her life. 10, women are very intelligent, and the men who don't believe that, they have scars to show for it. But women are very intelligent. 11, women are very observant. 12, women look for and they pick clues. Women are all about clues. So they are not very interested in what you are saying. They are looking around you and they can pick it. That's why if they see a lipstick on your shirt, they know where it's coming from. They can pick it like that. 13, women cherish connection. For a woman, being connected. And that's why When a woman is talking with you, a woman can't talk with you without touching you or patting you or holding you. They like connection. A woman can't talk with you without looking you in the face. A man can, because they love connection. 14. Women can take care of themselves, but they love to be taken care of.
Thank you.
A woman can take care of herself, but she loves nothing more to be taken care of. And 15, all a woman wants is to be loved. All a woman wants is to be loved. Again, so I've balanced it. Again, I will jump the remaining 5, so we can put it on this thing, so that you can pick it from there. So I'll stop here, and once again, thank you for paying attention, and then so we can take in a few questions before we leave. So we'll take a short break, and when we come back, I'm taking your questions. Yeah. Thank you very
much. Soul-inspiring content. Value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Get your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and a supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Amadi, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir?
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for staying with us. And once again, I apologize that we started late, and I also apologize that the presentation has eaten into your time for questions. So let's see. Do we have questions?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's go.
We have a text message. Uncle, I'm married and my husband has not had sex with me for a year. Should I continue with the marriage? I've tried to talk to him. Meanwhile, he doesn't want any family to get involved in our marriage. He doesn't want us to do things together. That is going out, gathering, nothing. What should I do?
Wait for another year and divorce him. Because the law says that if he doesn't touch you for 2 years, then that marriage is null. It can be annulled. So if he doesn't want to touch you, you wait for another year. Go to court and say that my husband hasn't touched me for 2 years. The marriage can be annulled.
And we have so many comments here coming in from ladies saying you look so handsome today.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
And
you know, a man loves to be admired, so thank you very much. Yeah.
Uncle, even the gentlemen are saying good things about you today. And Ruadote says, Uncle, your beard is popping. Sandy Tufo says, Uncle, they endure the unhappy marriage because of the kids, which is not fair.
I agree, it's not fair. It's not fair to the person who's enduring, and it's not fair to the children. Sometimes we stay on unhappy marriage and we say it's because of the children, but it destroys them even more.
From Emilia, why can't your husband be your friend?
Because he doesn't have what it takes to be your friend. He doesn't have it. Men don't have it. We don't have the resources. We don't have the stamina to be the best friend of a woman. It's as simple as that. We don't have it.
Uncle, God bless you. My love for her has been on and off. Is it a sign that we can't be together? And this is from Akwesi.
Well, Akwesi, what's going on? What makes it go off? So check that one and what brings it on, and that will help you. And then close the gap between the on and off so that you can be a little bit more consistent.
Uncle Sandy is back. She says, hey, this one dear. I told him to be my friend, but he said no, he can't be my friend.
After you jilted him? Was it?
Yes, uncle.
You throw the guy away and you want him to be your friend. Leave him to decide whether he wants to be your friend.
Kafui is asking, when he starts comparing you to another lady, has he started cheating?
He hasn't cheated, but he's being stupid.
Adam is asking, Uncle, please, how do you live with a man whose dominating temperament is phlegmatic and he's always playing mind games with you?
Ignore him. Just be yourself. But whenever there's opportunity to talk, let him know what does not make you happy.
From now, is it okay for the woman to admire other men whilst we are driving around?
Yes, but don't show it. You are clever. You are too clever to let him see that you're admiring another man. But yes, sure, go ahead, girl. Admire that guy's beard. But don't let him see what you are doing, because he will not be too happy. But good for fortunately for you, men are not that observant. He may not even see that you are admiring that man. He may not see it.
From Asantewa, you speak right to the heart of issues. Thank you, Uncle.
You're welcome, Asantewa.
My question is, how do you handle a man who thinks he knows it all?
Ignore him. With time, life will teach him he doesn't know 10. So just take it easy.
From Nana Ampong Serious. Uncle, please, I made my mind clear about a lady, but she told me she's dating. Yes, she's fond of me. What should I do?
Run.
From Sandy, Uncle, do you still admire them even if you see they have a little pot belly that you are not happy about?
Well, you must know that we are all proud of our pot bellies. Share. A man is walking down the street. He sees his image in a glass, and he looks at the pot belly, and says, "Yeah, I still got it." And goes away.
The children use as a pillow.
So learn to play with it, okay? Learn to play with it.
All right, from Aula Papa. First time I'm watching live, but I enjoyed it. Can't wait to come home to watch your shows like I used to. God bless you for all you do.
Well, thank you very much, and God keep you wherever you are and sustain you.
From Francisca, what about a man who still wants to be intimate when he is fully hurt? What about a man who still wants to be intimate when he is fully hurt and has unresolved issues?
Oh, for us, it doesn't matter. I mean, we can be hurt, but we will still do it. So, so please give it to him. Oh, we know. Hey, look. Ladies, Kojo Mensah doesn't. There are certain things Kojo Mensah doesn't mind. So please, don't make an issue. Oh yes.
From Florence Sandra White. Not my beard. Wow.
Bishop, how are you?
From Essie.
Oh, that's my wife anyway, and I promise you guys, one of these days she'll be here with me. And you love her. After it, you may ask her to take over, and that'll be fine with me.
From Essie, you are really looking great, Uncle Ebo. An ex-boyfriend got in touch with me last year claiming that he was unhappy in his marriage and he was even on the brink of divorce. He expressed interest and we started communicating again. However, it has been 10 months since I heard from him. What should I do? Get in touch with him? By the way, he lives abroad.
You were wrong to even initiate and listen to him saying he was unhappy. Listen, ladies, whenever a married man comes to you and says, I am unhappy, so unhappy, he will make you unhappy too. Why does it appeal to you? He's never going to divorce that girl and come to you. But even if he does, what kind of man made another woman so unhappy? And you think you would escape it? So leave them. They made that choice. Let them live with it. If he's so unhappy, I prefer a situation where he says, I am divorced. I was unhappy with a woman and have divorced. Now let's get talking. But when he hasn't divorced the woman and he's now talking to you, you become an escape. Not the real deal, and you'll never be the real deal. Stop it.
Francisca is back. She's asking, when you are fully hurt and issues are unresolved, but he still wants to be intimate?
Francisca, it's difficult, but he's being intimate because he doesn't even realize that you being hurt means you can't give yourself fully to him. He doesn't know that. He hasn't been educated. So sometimes under those circumstances, you give in to him. Then when he's happy and satisfied, tell him, raise the issue, and let's talk about it. And you'll realize he will be in a much better frame of mind than before.
From Samuel, how do we do tender touching?
Sammy, Sammy, how old are you? That you're asking a question like this. If you're not in your pre-teens, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Kingsley says, I just came to check in. My wife and I watched the recorded versions later. You are and always been a blessing to our 1 year and counting marriage.
Kingsley, I hope that your marriage will last for more than 50 years.
Tasha is asking, Uncle, on temperament, is it okay for both partners to have the same temperament?
It is. It will be a very interesting home. Because I'll tell you what will happen. We hate the qualities that are in us that we see in others. So if I'm outgoing and you are outgoing, I will hate the fact that you are outgoing. So that is a little thing that you may struggle with. But otherwise, just love each other.
From TK, Uncle, please, what will make a woman start visiting another guy when her guy is begging for the visit and is not getting it?
I suspect that they are not married. It means that she doesn't love her man. She should stop deceiving herself. She doesn't have a relationship.
Uncle, this is from WhatsApp. If you are dating an old classmate and he doesn't show you in public, how do you know if this is the right guy?
You are dating an old classmate and doesn't show you in public?
Yes.
Doesn't go out with you?
That is not stated, but I'm sure.
Okay, then you are a step girlfriend. You're a step girlfriend. That's a good one. Get out of that. Confront him and find out why he's doing that. It's possible he doesn't want. It's possible he has some other connections, other woman, whom others know, and doesn't want them to know that he's double timing.
From Rosemary, is it right to date a man who's younger than you and people think is higher than you?
It's higher than you. What do you mean by people think he's higher? He's younger but higher. What does that mean?
No, the gentleman is younger than the lady, and people think maybe her class is higher than the gentleman also.
I think we've dealt with that kind of issue. I really don't advise it. But in terms of the age, there are people who may be younger than you, and it depends on how many years younger, who may be younger than you, and yet in terms of life's experiences and exposure, and in terms of common sense, they are way above their age. So it depends. Study him and see.
From Nanayao, Uncle, for what reason will the lady pregnant for you run from you with the pregnancy after all efforts are made to stay are ignored?
Oh, Charlie, then you have issues. Hey, what kind of man are you? It's possible she's discovered what kind of person you are and she's running away.
Uncle, from Mr. Beecham, did you say a husband and wife cannot be best friends or best friends? Or maybe I didn't listen well. Is that not what all couples should work hard to achieve a good relationship?
That's an unrealistic expectation, my brother. You must be there for your wife, but you can't be her best friend. Because there are things, when she's offloading on you, you will run. You will just tune out. It will be too heavy for you. So encourage your wife to have a best friend so that you guys can talk, and then when it gets to a point, she can just offload the rest on her friend.
From Ruby, Uncle, what do you do if your boyfriend doesn't introduce you to his female friends?
Confront him. He's double timing you. He doesn't take you seriously.
From Emmanuel, I'm enjoying the message in Germany. God bless you. I love your messages.
Thank you, and all the best in Germany.
From Nana Kojo Wiafe Akenting Yeboa Odeneho.
Yeah, Nana, you are welcome back. I remember you.
Uncle, I'm a social media freak, but my girlfriend and wife to be hates my internet life and I am not myself without it. What should I do?
I think that girl is good for you. Let her, because being addicted on social media is not a life. Get a life, my brother. Get a life.
Uncle Aramide Lawal is saying, I am so part of
brother,
the show. Ask of me.
Come again?
It's a female.
Hey, how are you? It's good to see. It's good to hear from you.
From Nana Ajo Apia, Uncle, when you are having a stepdaughter and always you find out that she sleeps with the dad on the same bed, you share with the husband. Anytime you go to work or town, not once or twice, what do? Should I complain?
How old is the girl? So let's know. How old is the girl? Let's go.
Harriet Nana Adidonko is saying, Nana Wiafe, I even hate you for that. Why are you always writing on Facebook? I am sure she's the one Nana Wiafe is referring to. From
let's go on.
Francis Yale, I don't agree that a man and his wife can't be best friends. In fact, if their marriage must survive the storms of life.
Hold on. I am not interested in whether you agree with that particular point or not. I'm telling you that is the nature of things.
From J. Owusu, Uncle, should I disclose all the sources of my finance to my partner?
It depends on your partner. There are some partners who you'll be committing suicide if you did, because they don't know how to handle finances. So it depends on your partner. Oh, by the way, and wait and see whether that your partner has also disclosed how much he or she earns as well.
Uncle from Ronaldo. Hi, Uncle. I'm Mekia. How do you deal with a man who doesn't take responsibility of his actions and blames you for every issue that happens in a relationship, even though he's the root cause of the issues?
You are relating to a small boy, a baby. So what are you going to do? Because at this point, you can't help him to grow. But he needs to grow. He needs to grow to be able to recognize his faults and accept it.
From Big Sam, please, how do you deal with the issue where your girlfriend tells you she doesn't know whether she loves you or not?
And you still consider her a girlfriend?
She doesn't know whether she loves you or not. But you love her. Because a relationship can work with just one side anyway, if that is what you want. I don't think I fully understand that question. Let's go on.
From Nanaya on WhatsApp. Hello, Daddy. I'm having a great time. Thank you for sharing. And you're looking dashing.
Thank you, South Sudan.
From Grace Appear. Uncle, please, should I take my money from my ex? I helped him rent and buy chairs in his room. After all this, he chose another woman over me.
Compound interest.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear this. I'm sorry to hear this. That is all I'd like to say to this.
Uncle, my husband is open to his friends. He tells them everything, and I'm so uncomfortable with it. He tells me if anybody would want to hurt him in life.
Let's go on to the next one, please.
From Emmanuel, I am married but not happy in the marriage. I love another lady, but another lady more than my wife. I have tried all my best, but I still think about the other lady. My wife knows about it. I'm not happy at all in the marriage.
How long have you been married? Let me know. How long have you been married?
Uncle, I love a lady, but my mom says no because of her financial and educational background. What should I do?
If you want to go ahead, begin to negotiate with your mom. Because it doesn't really need to matter at all. So begin to negotiate and talk with your mom.
Good afternoon, Uncle. Thanks to you and your team. You're a blessing.
Thank you.
Uncle, please, how do you handle a man who claims to love you but shuts down for days when he is hurt or have a misunderstanding? No response to messages and no calls. I don't seem to understand at all. And this from Djibouti.
He's called a man. That men shut when they are hurt. Except that he should get better. It's a mark of immaturity. But it is also very masculine. When we are hurt, because we are very ashamed of our emotions. So we don't want to show an emotion. So if something demands our showing our emotion, apart from soccer, we will hold it. So he's just being a man. I hope he grows out of it though, and becomes a little bit more mature, so he can address issues.
Uncle from Emmanuel, I am married but not happy in the marriage. I love another lady more than my wife.
Oh, it's been said already.
Okay.
Uncle, my wife hates sex and she's always in a hurry to tell me to go outside and look for a woman. What should I do? We have 2 kids.
Go into intimacy mode. Give her intimacy. You will discover she doesn't hate sex. Maybe she hates the way you do it, the way and the time it comes. So for a period, just be intimate with her, tender with her without going on to sex, and see what will happen.
Uncle, Nanajua, the lady who asked about her stepdaughter who wants to sleep on the
Yes.
same bed, she says that the daughter is 7 years.
Oh, she's old enough for the man to let her sleep in her. But father and daughter, don't let your position be too obvious, and don't hate the girl. Love the girl, because the more you make the girl uncomfortable, the more he feels responsible to come and to make her and to pamper her. So let your relationship with this girl become normal and warm, and the father will withdraw for the two of you.
Uncle from Jake. My girlfriend has this bad mood swings, and she isn't comfortable when we communicate when it's at its peak. But she's the best person when she's in a good mood. What do I do?
You can't get it all. So hey, live with it.
Ruby is back. She says, Uncle, I confronted him about he introducing me to his female friends, but he said it's not necessary and that he doesn't owe them any explanation about
it. It is necessary. Don't believe him. It is necessary. He should do it. Tell him it is necessary. If it is not necessary for him, it is necessary for you. What is this? Introduce a girl, young man. What's your problem?
Uncle Emmanuel is also back. He says they have been married for four months.
All right, Emmanuel, you haven't made a mistake. You think you have. Give yourself time. Get over this. Don't walk out. Because those who have been regular in this, you know I was in that kind of situation. Today, I am glad that I married the kind of woman I did. So 4 months is too early. Don't write this thing off. Don't romanticize about the girl you could have married. Love this girl, and you'll discover you haven't made a mistake.
Uncle, please, and this one, come on. Uncle, please, must you still talk to a guy who decided to listen to a sister who you speak to in terms of trouble, and it turns to be that she's the sister of your boyfriend who is actually killing the relationship silently?
I don't understand the question.
Must you still talk to a guy who decided to listen to his sister who you speak to in terms of trouble?
Oh, wait. So his sister is also your friend?
Yes. And she's the one, she says that she's the one actually killing the relationship silently.
So why is she still your friend?
Well, say you ask her why, and the guy stops the relationship. But he still calls her mom and talks to her as if though they are no longer in a relationship.
Please, let's go on.
Hello, Daddy.
Hi.
What will you do when your guy tells you not to come to his house without calling?
Wow, why? Do you go chasing money? No, I will be suspicious. I will be very, very suspicious with that kind of person. Why? It means that he knows there's something going on in the house. And please don't. I realize that my people are plotting something. In your own interest, don't plot anything. In your own interest, because next week I'll be here on camera and I'll have all the power. So be careful. So it is possible there's something he doesn't want you to see. Girls whom he brings there on your off duty. It's possible he has scheduled the week for you and the other girls. So I would be very careful with this with him. Very careful.
From Sir Joe, Uncle, what's the best way for partners to manage their finances?
Talk. Just talk. Sit down and talk. Well, I think we have already exhausted. We've hopelessly gone beyond our time. I apologize for it, but it's because of the technical problems we had at the beginning. That's why we're pushing it. So can I just have 2 more minutes of your time? We'll take 2 questions, and then that's it. I beg you.
Uncle, sorry, Abis.
From Seram, Uncle, my best friend is female. How do I get my partner to understand that because she gets jealous anytime I talk to my best friend?
Is your best friend married? If she's not married, you are causing harm to her as well. You are using her for your comfort, but what about her? Think about her too.
Uncle, I'm Kobe. She hardly says I'm looking good. But if I don't, I'm in trouble. She likes other people's jokes than mine. Is this love?
It is.
Because her love language is gifts, and I don't feel to do so. Mine is a words of affirmation.
Oh, love that girl, love that girl. She'll come around and learn to tell better jokes. I think that will help you. No, I promised 2 questions, and I think we are done.
Okay.
I'd like to thank you very much for staying with us. Once again, forgive us. It was a technical issue. We could do nothing about it. I hope it's been useful to you. May the coming days bring you joy. May it sweeten your love relationship. And may your dreams come to pass. May life overwhelm you and exceed all your expectations. One more time, thank you for joining us. See you next week. And you can go on to YouTube and other platforms and watch this again and invite other friends to watch it. Thank you very much. Hello. They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very much committed to helping you become your better self. Your better self. You see, nobody goes into a love relationship to be miserable. We go into a love relationship to make each other happy and to be happy. May God bless and keep you. Bless and keep you. Bless and keep you. May God bless and keep you. Bless and keep you. Bless and keep you happy. I'd like to thank you very, very much for joining us today. Remember, be happy, and may your love life be sweet.